What is good, everybody? Welcome back. Welcome back to an all-new TAETRO Reacts to Your Music stream. Thank you all for being here today. We have some good music from the Discord to listen to today. If you don't know, every other Saturday, the second and the fourth Saturday at this point, members of the community submit their music on our community Discord, and you are able to we talk about that music, we give some feedback, we give some encouragement, we go follow the artists when we think that their tracks are fire, we show support for the whole community, all that good stuff. So I'm excited to be here today and doing this. Now, as many of you have heard, and shout out to all my members in the chat, thank you so much for being here. Really cool thing is I went and got the new iPad mini yesterday, and I'm actually using it as a second display, so we'll see how that goes today. I think it's gonna go pretty well. I hope my shutter speed and all that is fixed today. We had some technical issues the other day, but I think we're good. What's up? Thank you all for saying hello. Hi, Extreme Kraken, Starself, Sub-Zero, DX, or I think that's Death. Hello, nice to see you, Death. Welcome. Don't come for me too early. I'm going to move this keyboard out of the way. I'll try to submit if you have time for non-members, says Piccolo Black. It may be possible. That is kind of the reason we added a second stream, is to have a little bit of time. But we'll have a bit of a shorter stream than usual today, but that's all right. We'll go through all these tracks. Got no new tracks or WIP tracks to review, sadly. Amelia, you've been crushing it anyway. I know you're getting on a couple playlists, and you've just been submitting, and I hope you realize that it's paying off, and that your audience is going to grow and grow. But thanks everybody for being here. All those folks with the cool badges like MV Beckham, White Whisker, some folks that I already called out. My mom and dad are in the chat, of course. Sub-Zero, sorry if I missed people. I know we had a member at the top of the stream, but I can't see that because of the pinned message. So shout out to, I think that's Omar that became a member before we started. Oh, Drunken Bishop is here. Kaifu, hello. Hi everybody, thanks for being here. Michael G as well. So stoked that you're here. I think Joseph McCaffrey is here. It's potential. He could not even be home, as far as I know. Saw him briefly this morning. Maybe he forgot we have a stream today. Yes. We're going to listen to some cool music. I just want to remind everybody, even though I know most of you know, that Beattober is quickly approaching, October 1st, and we did... you just spam Joe's emote. Oh, he is here. I see it. Oh, SDK's here as well. We did drop the new Beattober merch. I have pinned the crew neck that I am wearing to the top of chat if you want to grab it. It's this really cool design. It's got this creature designed by my niece. The original Control Freak, I would say. That's what this is. The original Control Freak. We've got it on a tote bag as well. I just knocked over everything. We've got stickers with that on it as well. Don't forget, we've got stickers with the Control Freak if you want to put it on your controller. There's this other one with the eyeball. The eyeball freak is on the other side of the tote bag, I should say, too. Boom. And then we've got the watercolor merch, like the accessory pouch. It says make beats every day. We got the phone case that says make beats every day. And I put up some custom wallpapers on Instagram as well. So if you go to my Instagram and you go to my Beattober highlights, I highly encourage everybody to do this. Whether you're participating in Beattober or not, really. If you go to my Instagram and you click Beattober, the highlight, obviously you do this on your phone. You want to press and hold on this, and then it will make all the menu go away, and then you can screenshot it. This is another wallpaper for you. Wallpaper. And then these are really fun. These are like little templates that you can put on your story or on your socials, and you can fill it in. All you have to do is take a selfie and then add it to your story and make it a circle, put it here. It's really easy to do right in the Instagram app. And then you can just write the number of beats that you're making for Beattober. If you're doing 31, I've seen a few people post that they're doing 31, which is amazing. There's 2 color versions of this, whichever you prefer. And go ahead and post that. And that's just a little video on how to do that if you're not so Instagram savvy. So go do that. That's living right on my Instagram page, so it's not going to expire. And I highly recommend that some of you make a Beattober Instagram highlight, have this be your first panel, and then as you create beats throughout the month, you can not only, post them to the feed, but you can post them to your story and then add them to that highlight. And that way you'll be able to go back and look at it. It's way easier than having to go back and look at the feed, as I was trying to do a year later when I was making that announcement video. Yarn Chic says, I ordered my fanny pack. We love to hear it. Drunk Bishop says, couldn't figure it out. Well, there's a video there. I trust that you can figure it out. For sure. You mean TAETRO is not gifting you? Listen, peace and love. Don't forget that half of these, I didn't even show off the t-shirt. 50% of the merch sales go to the artist. The other 50% go to the Music and Youth Initiative, which is the nonprofit we're supporting all throughout Beattober. I'll show off this last design and then we'll get into the tracks. This is my favorite design of the collection. I call it Creepy Cafe. We got a couple control freaks sitting there. It says Beattober 2021 on it, as requested by the community. This is you and your friends participating in Beattober, hanging at the Creepy Cafe. These are the folks who said, man, I don't think I can do it. Which, with peace and love, no matter how much time you have during the day, whether you have 10 minutes of free time a day, 20 minutes, an hour of free time a day, you can make something work where you make a piece of music and you post a video. Nobody said it has to be fancy. The other thing I want to clarify too, if you're participating in Beattober, you're mainly participating to take on the challenge and make yourself become a better producer. You are not participating to win cool prizes, even though that is an aspect this year. If that's your main priority, I can already tell you you're going to have a bad time, because as there are more than 2 people participating in Beattober and participating in the giveaways, your chances are well below 50% of winning any giveaway. And that would mean that your chances are very low of winning giveaways. So peace and love, you have a chance, but don't enter. Some people enter into these competitions and these challenges with the expectation that they're going to win. And you should not go into it with that expectation, or you're just going to be let down. And then people act mad at me because they don't win. It's like, peace and love. I don't know what to tell you. This especially comes through in comments when people are like, oh, but I don't really use Instagram. Can I do this? Can I do that? In life, when you're presented with an opportunity to do something, and basically the only opportunity I'm presenting to you is to participate in this challenge and better yourself as a producer with some extras along the way. But when you are presented with an opportunity, someone presents you with something in life, your response should never be, oh, thank you for presenting me with this opportunity, but can we do it just under my conditions? It's not how it works. So for the few people that are commenting like, oh, I don't use Instagram, can I do it on Facebook? Can I do it on LinkedIn? Can I do it on whatever? Can I do it on Friendster? Go for it. If that's your main posting platform of choice, peace and love. Go ahead and post on whatever platform you want. Am I going to look for your beat video on LinkedIn because Johnny, whatever his name is, doesn't want to post on Instagram? No. Will you still become a better beat producer if you post a video every single day on LinkedIn? Sure. Will you get the traction that you need as a music producer who's trying to grow an audience? Probably not. So peace and love. You do you. General Jam the Jet says nails are dope. Thank you. I rock the Itachi purple sometimes. I don't know what that is, but I will look it up. SDK, thank you for the coffee dono. I appreciate that. And folks, we have some streams next week, but final warning for if you are not yet a member, because the Haze sample pack is free for VIP members and above right now. So if you become a member right now, you'll get the Haze sample pack. Go to the community tab, instantly download it. Then October 1st, the Haze sample pack goes away. You will no longer be able to get it for free, but you will be able to get the Ritual sample pack for free. So now is the best time to become a member. Yeah, Pickleback, the LinkedIn thing, I was exaggerating a little bit, but that is like people's thing. They think Twitter is somehow better than Instagram. They think they're taking a stand by saying, I don't use Instagram. Haven't posted at all on my music Insta, using Beatsober as a way to finally start. That's a good idea, Star Stuff. Exactly. John Cozen says you can always have an Instagram that just promotes your SoundCloud stuff or whatever. Yeah, but I think also the music producer, people like that faction of the music production community needs to get over the fact that they think they're like better than social media. You're not. Every successful musician is utilizing social media in good ways. So there's just like people, like amateur musicians sitting in basements thinking that they're better than the entire music industry, and for that reason nobody will ever hear their music. Connor Edwards showing some love in the community. We love that. Piccolo Black, if I hit the join button, does that make me a member? It does make you a member. Well, it won't instantly make you a member. You have to choose what tier, but you can hit the join button and see the options and see which one is for you. But every option makes you a member, and then even at the lowest tier, you can join the Discord and submit music via there. Superman says, got the Haze, gonna wait till the next pack. That's what I like to hear. Right, cool. And then membership revenue is going to the charity during October as well. So all you members are going to be inherently supporting a cause. Well, if y'all go to the community timeline feed at TAETRO, has videos showing how to promote your music. I believe that, though I don't know what community timeline feed. If you literally just look at everything that I do on social media, that I don't need to tell you, oh, post a funny reel that does X, Y, and Z. Like, just go look at what I'm doing and you'll see what I'm doing. I don't have to. I think people get caught up in like, I got to make a video explicitly telling people what to do. No, just watch. And it doesn't even have to be me. If you want to know what Lil Nas X's music promotion plan is, go to his TikTok and see that he posted in 7 days 150 TikToks promoting his track. And see all the different ways that he did that. How do you post 150 times in 7 days? Well, go look and see. It doesn't need to tell you. You can observe. Use your brain. All right. I didn't intend to rant today, though. Today is about listening to community music, as usual. T. Henricus, hello. Thank you for being here. Sweet charity. Yes, exactly. As a member, teacher is what I meant. Oh, yeah, for sure. It'll also make me stop thinking I need to create a full track every time. Exactly. The whole idea is come up with these little bit of ideas throughout the month of October, hone your sound, hone your skills, learn something new, learn discipline, and then come out with maybe like 5 of those 31 beats are worth finishing, maybe. Who knows? How many members are we at? Well, we'll look for Joseph McCaffrey on account for that. Should we listen to some community music? I got it queued up here. I am taking these again from the Discord. So if at any time you would like to become a member in today's stream, go ahead and hit that join button, become a member, and you could probably get in today because we have a short amount of tracks, this being the second stream of the day. So I've already got the first one loaded up here. Let's go ahead and give a listen to HXI. Oh yeah, Digit had like a fire one not too long ago, a couple weeks ago. Digit, you're right. Days away. UG, oh my God, please stay. Pokey, hocus pocus, monsters coming, Chucky scared away. Tommy need no help, finger, we just rugrats and water in my pocket, so you better watch your back. Bounce, bounce with me, we gon' have ourselves a day. I'm riding drop top, watch out, cause we hit like 808s. I hear that ring, ring like a siren does. Phone cognac, caught a buzz. In or out, I flip the card, so I ride the bus. So back and back again, I won't slow away. Piggyback and aim for me,
catch a break, I hear that. Ooh, heaven up in cloudy skies, no rain in paradise. I still want that in my mind.
I like that synth. Where do I remember hearing that?
Yeah, they all play my days away. UG, oh my god, please stay. Pokey, hocus pocus, monsters coming, Chucky, stay away. Tommy need no hell finger, we just rats and water in my pocket, so you better watch your back. They all play my days away. UG, oh my god, please stay. Pokey, hocus pocus, monsters coming, Chucky, scared away. Tommy need no hell finger, we just rats and water in my pocket, so you better watch your back. I rap
baby
spittle,
emojis
maybe
in
too
chat.
much okay for fiddle. Stop with the names I run, I get them. Bad guys stop when I spray my spittle. Right step, left step, back up, calling quick, cause I dodge them bullets like Neil. How did I do that? I don't know, but I guess I got the flow, yeah. Flip that back, get it in. 3 points on the roll, let's win. Count 'em up, 21. That's an ace and king, no bitch. Flood it up, now my drip. That's my bank account, that's a blackjack. Ain't no jack, black school of rock for all my kids.
I got you.
They all play my days away. UG, oh my god, please stay. Pokey, hocus pocus, monsters coming, Chucky, stay away. Tommy need no hell finger, we just rats and water in my pocket, so you better watch your back. They all play my days away. UG, oh my god, please stay. Pokey, hocus pocus, monsters coming, Chucky, scared away. Tommy need no hell finger, we just rats and water in my pocket, so you better watch your back.
Starting off strong today. Sorry guys, I think I had the music too loud. Starting off strong today. But I probably just need to pull back on the track. Piccolo Black joining at the VIP tier. Welcome, Piccolo Black. Sheesh. Okay, let me talk about the song. Digit, you are kicking things off strong here today. Thank you, my friend. This is another banger because I remember last time you had a banger as well. Okay. I said like Chance the Rapper influence, which I definitely hear on this for sure. Let me know if I'm off base on that. Very catchy melodies and just overall like chord progression and bounciness. The overall feel of the track crushed it. Relatively simple instrumentation. I do like the mix of sounds. We got the piano, we've got that cool synth, and then use a bit of Foley here and there. I think if I can give a little bit of feedback, the piano gets a little heavy. Like I think the bass could hit a little harder, and we could EQ that piano so it's a little bit less heavy. It feels a little chunky, and it definitely feels like it's competing with the vocals. So whether it just needs to be like wider or even just the simplicity of bringing it down in the mix a bit might help, and pulling some a little bit of lows out of it could help that kind of heavy, chunky piano sound. The other critique I have is mainly around like the arrangement of the track and the difference in the sections, right? The vocals are pretty much like at one level the whole time, aside from these little sections, which are actually very nice. Like if you go and listen to any music, you'll notice that like, you know, verse, pre-chorus, chorus, pretty much any major track out there, there's like a different vocal chain or vocal effect for every single section. And I think what ultimately happens is, since it's one of these songs where the verse and the chorus are kind of the same feel, and the chorus is just like an elevated version of the verse, think what happens is it comes across kind of like samey. So can you make the chorus stand out a bit more vocally? Here at the end, you started to do some interesting stuff with the background vocals. But other than that, the vocals are pretty much like dead center, kind of dry. And if I flip through, this is just a test that I do with a lot of tracks, right? If I flip through different sections, you'll hear pretty much the same thing. Like there's no big difference until the end where we have that extra vocal layer, and that makes that ending really special. So what are some of the things you can do throughout the track? These little mellow sections are great because they break it up, but this huge chunk right here, as well as this chunk right here, they need a little something else to separate them from each other. So maybe that first one stays dry, but this second chunk right here should give us a little more, whether that's some vocal ad-libs, more layering, maybe you double some of the vocals so they're thicker in certain parts, something that stops the beat like a dropout and just lets the vocals kind of shine on top, like a little dropout for a measure, and let those, you know, something like that. Something like that. I think the vocals overall sound good. I just think arrangement-wise, there could be more interesting things happening. But the song is for sure a banger. I think that there's probably one little step up. What just fell? There should be one little step up that adds like a little bit more interesting things. Just study the big tracks on the radio, the big tracks that are in this similar vein, and notice we get the songwriting down, we get the instruments down, the lyrics, the melodies, the chords, that's all good. But what are the little extra production things that happen? Whether it is the dropout and the vocal takes the lead, whether it is little interesting vocal layering things happening, whatever it may be. Peace and love. I see, I have it stuck in my head. It's good. It's a very good melody for sure. Let's keep it going. Doomsware, if you're going to offer feedback, you can go ahead and say something positive at the same time as saying something negative, because that's how we roll here. Basically, if you find yourself in chat trying to hedge anything you say, but don't want to sound mean, but peace and love, find another way to say what you want to say. And anybody who wants to critique other people's tracks should feel free to step up to the plate. It's easy to be a spectator. It's not always easy to put stuff out. But we got more music to listen to. Digit, thank you for that first submission, kicking things off with a banger. I got an Ascent up here, always taking us on some type of space odyssey. So let's give a listen. How's this level? Elias says Tron. Kirky Beat says covers or remixes. I would avoid it because I don't want the stream to get taken down. What's up, Gemini? Gemini, you're here and you're around, so I think we have time to get to you today. We'll let it slide this time, Gemini. Descent, you're not allowed to do that anymore on the outro. Give me an outro. And an intro for that matter, because we kind of just hit the ground running. You can't give me like one little sweep. And then we start. Sub-Zero says, what's the BPM on here? Tap it in your DAW. People always ask me, what's the BPM? Why? Tap it into your DAW. Figure it out. Joseph, can you see if we have member milestone chat? I saw it in my settings. It's turned on. All right, Nascent, thank you for the submission. I mean, you're always offering like high energy, like space sci-fi-esque tracks. This seems a little bit, I don't want to say faster paced. What am I trying to say? This leans a little bit more into the video gamey world, I think, than usually you kind of go for, which I think is cool. It's got like a very energetic, pushing video game level, high energy vibe to it. So I'm cool with that. I feel like when I think of your tracks, it's usually like bigger, more atmospheric kind of thing. Highlight of the track for me is for sure the bass line. And I would like to everybody to just, as they're listening to this track, realize that it's another one of those tracks that mixing becomes a lot easier when each of your instruments has its very particular place in the track. Listen to every single piece and you notice that there's not much of any clashing going on. But yeah, similar to my last bit of feedback for the other track, I think for this track, you're going to want to work on the transitions because we're going from section to section to section, and it pretty much keeps up the same beat and the same bass line throughout, adding different melodies and different synth sounds on top, which do keep it interesting. However, how can you make it even more interesting? How can you bring us along on that journey? Well, it's doing certain things that you see me do all the time, adding FX transitions, that top level of performance effects that's going to make it sound just one level cooler. That's the next step for this track for sure. What did I do? I ended up on another track. Yeah, because it's kind of just like section, 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 and we just kind of go through the whole track that way. So work on the transitions, and I think you have a good track on your hands. Thank you, Nascent, for submitting this week. Go give Nascent a follow on Audius if you can. Lots more kind of sci-fi, energizing electronic music over there. Worth checking out. Let's keep going. Thank you, Nascent. Once again, we got Sub-Zero up next. All right. It's playing automatically. Let's get listening. Down-tempo chill hop, Sub-Zero, huh? Gotta get this window down. Manuel said it gives me a feeling I have to run for my life. Yeah. Michael is probably proud of that feedback. This is a good guitar sample, assuming it's a sample and you didn't play it. Sub-Zero, are you taking a more minimal approach to your production? Because I remember that from the ADSR review as well. Shed some light on if you switched up your process a bit. Why it says lounge music? Yeah, for sure. This was a good job coming into this section. This is smart to add this new kind of bell instrument on top. but then we quickly moved off of it. Barnes & Noble book and coffee feels. Yes, Raymond. Guys, I prefer if you did not exchange any kind of Cash App information or anything in chat. We'll have gifted memberships soon. YouTube is already working on implementing it. So with peace and love, I would prefer that that did not happen. All right, Sub-Zero, thank you for this chill vibe. I think people are right with the Barnes & Noble book coffee shop feel. Yes, good job at that. And the reason I asked about you, like, you're transitioning to a minimal approach is because I think that this sounds really... It's a lot cleaner than some of the first things that I heard from you, I think. Because... I think just sometimes mixes and instrumentation gets too cluttered, and it seems like you're pulling back from doing a too cluttered thing, and all of your parts seem deliberate. So shout out to you. I think that that's really, really good. I think you're doing cool things with the rhythm, interesting things in rhythm that are not super conventional. I think at some point, though, you may consider in the track going to a more standard backbeat. Because these rhythms that you have going are really interesting and sound really cool. Different from the normal, like, chill lo-fi stuff. But if you do want to kind of exist in that space, do the thing with the interesting rhythm. But it would be really satisfying for a listener if we hit a section, maybe right about this point, where we get the more straightforward backbeat. And just add one more energizing layer of percussion that pushes things forward, you know? But overall, good job. Good sound selection as well. I think just be a little more mindful of your sections, because I did like when this bell instrument came in, but it kind of lasts such a short amount of time. And then we kind of lose momentum because we just go back to the drums and guitar sample thing that we've already heard. So it's like you gave us a little taste of something new, and then we went back to something old so fast. Why not just like quickly evolve into that? Like the arrangement should make sense. Like it should either go build, 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 build and drop, and then back up to something big. Or it should just gradually build bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. You know, like create peaks and valleys. Don't just do like kind of random stuff like that, you know? Bing, you weren't invited, so that's okay. See you later. Thank you, Sub-Zero. Good track. Keep up the good work, because your music is getting better and better every time you hear it. So nice job. I daydream about TAETRO having his own virtual instruments. Maybe one day. Maybe one day is what I can say. All right, we got a good one for sure coming up here. Everybody get ready. Hello. Discord is so annoying. Get ready to chillax, because we got none other than, I think I can safely say, crowd favorite. We got an unreleased track from our friend STK. Kicking things right off with that guitar that he is well known for, and I love the album art as well. The best thing is, you know, Bing is still here, like waiting to see like the response. He said he was out, but like he was like waiting to get some attention. Jeez, the drums, STK, are always good. Good old SDK, yeehaw. As usual, go to STK's SoundCloud. Definitely deserves at least 100 followers. Deserves more than 100 followers, but should at least be at 100 by now. We need the SDK guitar loops pack for sure. Sunheed, welcome to the community. Thank you, my friend. Kaifu says I'm floating on the clouds. Yep. Wistful Snail says very tasteful delay and reverb effects as usual with SDK's music for real, right? I mean, SDK, you submit this music, it's fantastic. I hope at least the value for you in submitting here is that people go and follow. Please go give a follow. Of course, SDK is on all the major streaming platforms as well. This is an unreleased track, so I wonder if you're planning on releasing this, SDK. Please let us know the plan. What for you, SDK, signifies like, oh, this is a track I'm going to release, or this is a track I'm not going to release? Would love to know. So, of course, I think the music is beautiful, great as it stands. I think you're doing a great job with the mix as well. That kick is just like in the perfect spot for me. I don't know what to tell you, but that kick is just beautiful. So my, not critique, but my feedback, my idea is like, what's next for SDK? Like, SDK, what is your next move as an artist? I've already said it. I think for sure you should be putting out sample packs. You should be building your brand as an artist. I know we talked a little bit about streaming and things like that. Content. I think for sure it's the next step for you because you have the beautiful music. People probably want insight to your process. People probably want avenues to support you. So I think that is definitely the next move for you. Don't keep this music a secret. Don't keep this talent a secret. Another way you could possibly get your brand, your name out there, maybe collaborate with a few singers. Like imagine a nice soft vocal over this track or tracks like these, or maybe a whole SDK album that is not just instrumentals, but it also has a top line on it. I think it's a good one. Just some thoughts. Now, I think because your music is great. So for me, as long as the wifey approves it, LOL. That's funny. That's a great relationship. SDK, thank you for the submission as usual. And, you know, if that is the case, anything to make you like more human and like bring more, you know, of who you are into whatever you make, like have your wife be a part of your content. Like you should be like finishing a track and then like immediately bringing it over to her. I think that would be really cool. And people would love to see that. Gemini, we got you. Let's give it a listen. We'll give it a quick listen because I know you're trying to watch during work and such. But Gemini up next. Thank you, SDK, for that last submission, gracing our ears with that. Hey, what's up, Sandoval? What's up, Longwoo? Thank you, Digit. I love the lo-fi vibe of this. This is just a nice nostalgic feel. Oh, we do have member milestone chat. Thank you, SDK. SDK, tell people how you did that because I don't even know how you did it. Oh. The key got confusing there for a second. STK been a member for 8 months. Cheers to you, my friend. If you have been a member, you have a member milestone chat to use. I think there's just a clash going on, Gemini, in this track. The vocals and the rest are just not working. You had me until the vocals came in. But I'm totally fine with, I'm not gonna like critique the mix because I think it's a very deliberate, like lo-fi sounding mix, like on purpose. And I think that that's totally valid. And I think the guitar sounds pretty cool too. Like that. And I like that you added the rain. So like, I love the atmospherics of these synths. Sounds like it's coming straight off of a tape. And then when those drums do come in, you know, we're not getting that big robust low end, but it's part of the aesthetic, you know. My mic level is low today? That doesn't make sense. I haven't changed anything. But you let me know. I guess the vocals like kind of fit in a weird way. But I don't know. They came in and they just took me off guard. Maybe they just need to be more sparse or something. I don't know. But the vocals are sounding a little odd to me, but you all can call me crazy. Overall, like the vibe of this track. Gemini, keep making tracks like this. Put out a whole beat tape. Get your stuff going. I love the overall aesthetic. Like the sound aesthetic. You guys know what I mean when I say that? It's like, sounds like it's coming right out of a tape machine. We've got the rain happening. Got the anime album art. It's fantastic. Overall, package it. Put it on a playlist. Make your own playlist. Make your own beat tape. You're good to go. Thank you, Gemini, for submitting that. Didn't overstay its welcome either. Nice sub 2-minute track that did its job and then left. Is that RC20? A lot of people use RC20. Let me know in the chat, what is your like lo-fi plugin of choice? RC20 is pretty good. I've used a couple other ones. I used that Lo-Fi AF one, which I am kind of going back to because it has so many controls. And then I've also used like Vibes, which is a good one by the Natan. Is it Vibes? I think so. Nonetheless, let's get into the next track. Keifu. Joseph McCaffrey, you just give me the all clear that the audio sounds like it literally always does. We got our first little trap beat of the day. Bassline's doing interesting things. First 2 notes of the bass line are good. And then I'm just not feeling that. And then it resolves to a good note. And that walk down is good too. Oh, good little claves. I just strongly, thank you. I just strongly do not think that that's the bass note you're going for. But your percussion game is great. Whoa, the logo's getting trippy. Nick SSK, what's good? Nice little switch up here. minimal production style, and then we've obviously switched up the drum sounds. I think we added some different drum hits here, but we're keeping the same bass line. Okay, remember I said the last track did not overstay its welcome? There's like this little switcheroo that happened over here, but then it just kind of morphed into being more of the same. So this, you really got to justify the last minute of this track for sure, because there hasn't been any growth towards the end of the track. There's no evolution happening. If anything, it seems to have gotten more sparse. The Wistful Snail says, love the filter gating. Yeah, there's some cool filter stuff happening here. All right, so here's the thing. We just have to talk about the bass line. It's not diatonic. I'm not saying peace and love that everything's got to be diatonic and everything's got to be like in key and like sound like super diatonic is the word. It's like has to sound super like traditional in key. It doesn't have to. However, you have this bass line, and I think that this bass line is 100% a symptom of something that a lot of people fall victim to, which is I am making music and I'm a beginner musician, but I'm going to do it my way. I'm going to just I am going to just completely just take one element that I don't have to use my galaxy brain for and use my galaxy brain and do something totally different. And ultimately, when you do that, especially at a beginner level, you end up with something that sounds bad, like this bass line. And like I said, not everything has to be like perfectly in key diatonic. However, if you are going to do something like that, you need to have other elements around it that support that harmony. If all of the instruments were working together to do a very deliberate like harmony shift there, it might have made more sense. However, I think what's likely happening is you're doing something in that bass line, music theory wise, that you don't quite understand, and it's not sounding good, and it doesn't sound deliberate. It sounds like kind of like you just hit a wrong note. Change that, and I think you have the elements of what could be a pretty strong track. I mean, I like the instrumentation, and I especially like the percussion. I mean, the hi-hat sounds solid. I like the little percussive like cowbell and open cymbal and the rim shot or claves that come in later. I think it sounds really good. And the riff is not bad either. But there's no, like I said before, arrangement-wise, there's no evolution. At the beginning, it sounds pretty good because we add the beat, we add the melody. But then do my trusty trick of just clicking around the track. If I click over here, how much is really changed? Not much. So this filter gate situation is nice, as somebody pointed out in chat. And I thought we were morphing into like more of a B section, something new, but we ultimately don't really. We take the same riff, we play it on a different instrument or we process it differently, and then we just play the rest of the track out, you know? So take it to the next level. I think you have a foundation of what could be solid elements, but don't galaxy brain your music. Just freaking stick to what sounds good. Nobody, I'm not saying you were trying to impress anybody, but I think the beginner mindset is like, I'm going to impress people by doing something different, aka making it sound bad. And that is just, it fails every time. Sometimes you'll have a beautiful mistake, beautiful accident, and it will sound great. And you'll do something unintentionally that you wouldn't normally do, and it will sound good. Other times you deliberately try to do something outside the bounds of what you're trying to do, and it sounds just bad. I'm not saying your track sounds bad. I'm saying you have a good foundation. Stick to some of the more core rules. You'll get a better, closer result to what you're desiring. And build on this foundation now. How do you take this track to the next level? How do you make it so it's not so samey throughout the arrangement? Lean into your strengths, like the percussion mixing, the drum programming, things like that. Keep going with that stuff. But Kaifu, I think this is your first submission, so thank you so much for submitting. I did give you a sub and a like. I can't wait to see what you post next. And it's all about growth here, you know? Everybody's in their own place on this production journey, out here trying to be better music producers every day. The best part about doing this is like, there's been people that have been submitting for as long as they've been members, right? Months and months and months. And we've heard those producers get better and better. And become more of themselves as artists. And that's one of the best parts of the community, you know? So thank you for doing that. Nunez says, oh God, I used to have that mindset and I made so many bad tracks. Thankfully, I've pulled away from it. Yeah, ironically, you see that a lot at music school. They're like, I'm just going to make the worst sounding thing. And then what happens is when you get a bunch of amateur, like pretty much any music majors in a room together and they're all like making something that sounds bad, but they're all like standing there cross-armed looking at it like, yeah, it sounds good. They can all really convince themselves that something that sounds absolutely terrible sounds impressive. Like it's such a phenomenon. I want to like study it one day at these music programs. It's like, geez, you guys are all like drinking the same Kool-Aid, huh? But enough about that. Let's get Cable's. Everybody's using a rain sample today. What's good with that? I'm not mad though. We got a cinematic vibe or something going here. Nice, kind of like an old school hip hop feel almost. Whoa, what was that sound? Yes, Amelia, that's exactly what happens. Oh, really nice with that guitar. Very cool. I love those little guitar samples. David Carr, we're not doing submissions through Twitter or Google Drive. Sorry. I love that guitar harmonic thing. Cable's very strong track, maybe the strongest you've submitted from memory. It's very hard for me to remember because we've reviewed so many tracks and it's been so many months. So what does this track do really well? I would love to point it out. First of all, amazing intro that builds up in a beautiful way. And you can really hear the robustness when this kick and the drums come in. And just pay attention to the parts. You've got guitar, strumming chords, you've got a solid backbeat, you've got a kind of sparse bass line, nice plucked bass line, and a piano melody on top. And the thing that makes this like essentially, this could be a lot of the feedback I've had for previous tracks is like, right, oh, I click anywhere and it sounds the same, right? This track is not going to experience too much of that. And the reason that it gets better and better and it can get away with a little more repetition is because of the little things that it does in between. So we have these little transitional sections that just make it so much more interesting to listen to. And they're, where is the first time that guitar pickup comes in? See how that just basically interrupts the beat and like catches your attention? And we're not doing anything groundbreaking here. We're going into like a similar instrumentation as this section with an additional guitar riff on top of it. But that caught our attention, gave us enough time to take a breather. Added one little new element there. And the simple technique of just taking things out, bringing things in, filtering things in, it's that special attention to sound design and transitions that makes this track go from being like a good track to, like, in my opinion, like a really excellent track. Now, this is a personal preference thing, but I am of the mind that a field recording is most of the time much better used just during like intros and outros and little break sections. So I wonder if this track might be a little stronger if it didn't have the rain sample running throughout. Not that the rain sample is inherently bad. I think that the rain is good. However, I think it loses its effect of building the atmosphere when it's just present throughout the whole thing, because we end up like tuning it out. So even if you wanted to keep it in this first section, maybe here it drops out. And what that also does is helps bring more focus to the music, and it makes it feel like there's just less background stuff happening. That's just a personal preference thing. I've heard lo-fi beats both ways, and we've talked about it in chat before. People have opinions one way or the other. So take it with a grain of salt. But nonetheless, it's another good... I feel like SDK and Cables could be on similar like beat tapes, you know? Cables, is your music on Spotify and stuff? Please go follow, by the way. It should be. If you're not on all the major streaming platforms, my friend, you should be. Get it going. Amelia can speak to some of the benefits of it after she finally took the plunge and did it. Wiley says, oh shoot, I'm late. Don't worry, you're here. That's all that matters. Okay, let's keep on going. By the way, if you're new here, do a little station break. If you are new here, we do these track review streams twice a month. And we prioritize channel members. So if you are not a member of the channel, there is no guarantee that your music will get reviewed. These submissions that I'm taking right now come from our community Discord, which you can join at any tier by clicking that join button below the video. Appreciate all you members. That's all the cool people with the little cool badges next to their names. It's the best way to support the channel and also get something for yourself. So thank you to all the members for being here. I see Jay Scholes made it today. Thank you so much for hanging out. Hello. And we're listening to some awesome independent music from home studio music producers from around the world. That being said, coming in October, we'll actually be streaming every single Saturday. We'll still prioritize members. However, the track reviews are going to be all about Beattober. So make sure you're participating in Beattober. If you still don't know what Beattober is, TAETRO.com/Beattober. Check that out. Participate. All you got to do is post on Instagram with the hashtag Beattober. I'll be able to find your music. Now we'll have a little thread going in the Discord where I'll be able to find all the members' posts easily. And then from there, it's a lot easier because these are going to be like 1 minute beat clips. I'll be able to get through a lot more. So if you're not a member, you're not able to become a member, that's okay. I'll likely be able to get to your music a lot next month as long as you're participating in Beattober. That said, becoming a member will help to support the charity Music and Youth Initiative that we are supporting all through the month of October. So let's keep it going. You got that bit.ly link in the chat, which I'm sure is important. And this is an exciting entry. Alja has a track that says, my first attempt at making K-pop. K-pop! Inspiration from Blackpink and Stray Kids. Well, I'm going to be harsh on this one as a Blink. So here we go. What's up, KO Tanari? The flute is close. This is very, very close. K-step. That's funny. Okay, a lot of cool things in this beat, and like I said, I think it's very close to what you're trying to achieve, but there's some interesting things that I think are pulling it away from being like for sure like a Blackpink like type beat or something. All right, first of all, like the whole thing sounds like it was exported like at 192K like versus like a full quality audio recording. I don't know what that is. I think it's that sample, but it's giving the whole thing like a degraded quality vibe. So just check your export settings. I think your sensibility in the types of sounds that you chose are like very good for this type of music. Like the bell instrument is not quite right. This opening melody. The melody is good, but it would have to be a different instrument. This brassy bomb, bomb, bomb. That's spot on. Okay, and then certain things that you do like with effects and stuff, like the splashes and the risers and stuff, those are very good too. Your sections are just too long though. If you go listen to any, especially I'm going to use Blackpink just as a reference point. The sections in a Blackpink song are just keep it moving, keep it moving. It's a verse, and then it's like a lot of K-pop is like drop on a dime, and it's something totally new. So where a lot of this track is based around that minor chord, a Blackpink track would for sure, for a pre-chorus, on the dime, switch to like a more major like EDM sounding kind of pre-chorus, and then launch back into this hard-hitting minor scale type thing. They do this really cool thing of balancing really dark, hard-hitting sort of trap elements with a brighter, uplifting sound, and then switch back to it on a dime. Then using this sort of not Ionian scale, like a more like Middle Eastern scale on the flute is good. I think one thing that is kind of holding, I think the longer notes on the flute though are a little bit too much. Like they could have been a lot shorter. And if you notice, a lot of K-pop does a lot of incidental stuff. So they'll have like a beat running, and the flute will play like one quick phrase in the right ear, and then it'll come back in a few bars later, something like that, you know? And yeah, like the sections and the momentum of the track are all very important. So like, why are you building up to this? First of all, where's the riser here? It comes in a little too late. And then you build up to this. That's not nearly dramatic enough. Something way more dramatic has to happen there. It just feels like we lost all momentum. It's like we sped up, we went 0 to 60, and then instead of hard hitting the brakes, we gradually slowed down. We went 60 to 0 in less amount of time, you know? And what I'm hearing a lot in K-pop is a lot more fast switches. Like this section there's something there. You switch out that bell sound, you keep that brassiness, you figure out what's going on with this kind of low downgrade version audio that I'm hearing. Fix that, and you have a decent section here. But nonetheless, you're in the right direction. Keep going, making that. I love this kind of music for sure. Oh, and the last thing I'll say on that, first of all, thank you, Alja, for submitting. If you do want to learn more about making K-pop and stuff, I highly, highly, highly recommend you go check out Lyre Music on YouTube. Alina Smith and her partner, Ellie, they are like fire producers. They have a lot of really great tutorials. Please go subscribe to them. They have a lot of, and I should say they have like literal placements with like Red Velvet and ITZY amongst other amazing groups. So definitely go check out their channel because they have lots of tutorials and then lots of also good talks. Like I think this is for sure the best video on their channel, the best talk probably they have. Oh, that's not even showing what I wanted to show. Oh, yes, it is. Okay. JK. But yeah, I did a talk on their channel, which is cool. But they have a lot of like producing a K-pop song, like all that stuff. Produce a song like Blackpink. Like if you want to literally watch a tutorial by somebody who has made tracks for artists on labels like SM, like that's where you need to go. Link is in the chat. All right, we got to keep it moving here. Few more entries to go. Thank you to everybody who has become a member today. By the way, General Jam the Jet, thank you for becoming a member. I don't know if I said thank you when you became a member. We got Omar with Dream Mind. Let's listen. Little guitar action here. Sparkly synth happening around me. Cool atmosphere. Nice little message. That guitar being panned hard left is distracting. JB, you could not ask a worse question in chat. Peace and love. This overall is just like, it's got really cool elements and it's just like a little bit different than most of the stuff that you hear in this vein, which is cool. Cool. Thank you, Omar, for submitting this track. Yeah, like I said, like, I don't know how to pin this down genre-wise, but it almost sounds like a little bit like if there was lo-fi chill playlists made in the 90s. Like, there's just really cool, like, synth stuff. Like, that bass line is cool, but it's subtle, right? Like, I think subtlety is this track's strong suit. Nothing's too in your face. I'm not in love with the snare sound, but peace and love, it's a preference thing. The whole thing is kind of just like, it's slow and chill, but it's still moving forward, you know? See, like, these synths are not overstaying their welcome. They're also not, like, abruptly calling attention to themselves, you know? See, tracks like this, I don't have much to say about, like, build momentum, because I think this track does a pretty good job of building momentum. You end up adding the ride cymbal later on, because I think the whole atmosphere and purpose of these tracks is to just be this, like, soothing atmosphere for sure. Piccolo Black says, I'd love to learn how to make this type of music. Omar, please share any tips you might have in chat. But yeah, I guess the one momentum thing is, I think this whole ride situation could have come in a little bit sooner. You should always be aiming to have the sort of pinnacle of your track happening 3/4 of the way through, which would have it coming in like, what, like here-ish? And I would add one more layer to that ride where it's not just that little sparse thing. Instead, it's more of a and you can do that either by programming it via MIDI or adding a slight quiet, like send it to a return delay. I do that all the time with my hi-hats, but I just really like the overall mood and vibe, so thank you for that submission. I disagree with some of the random panning. Like, there's a couple occasions where the guitar is just like hard left, and when the instrumentation is sparse like this, and so there's something hard left or hard any direction, it just seems distracting. I don't know, unless it's like incidental. But the guitar's not incidental; it's like part of the whole atmosphere, you know. But that's sort of like, I guess, contributing to it sounding more nostalgic and old school, because that's a little bit of a more old school technique. Piccolo Black, another new member. Are you ready? This might be the strongest title of the day. Strongest titled track. Piccolo Black with Excited for Beattober. Stop writing not mixed yet in your descriptions. That goes for everybody, not just Piccolo Black. Nobody cares. What, you didn't do any mixing? None at all? You didn't touch the mixer at all? Come on. Okay, this is a good groove here. It's trippy. What does WIP stand for? Nice. Manny, if you want to submit, hit that join button, become a member. All right. Piccolo Black. What a strong first submission, my friend. And I know I was ragging on you at the beginning, but I just like when people put like when our people are basically hedging their track in their description, it just sets it off on a bad foot. Like, don't bother putting this. Either mix your track before you put it out, or come to the fact that you have done a mix. Like this, you've done a mix. This is a mix right here. This might be your first mix, might be your second mix, but you've mixed it slightly. Oh, work in progress? Yeah, stop labeling things work in progress. You want to call it like V1, V2, V3? Do that. You don't need to hedge and tell everybody it's a work in progress. But this is a nice, trippy, cool thing. You got something good going on here, my friend. There's like this clear harmony going on, and then there's that clear bass line, and that's a thick bass line. But for some reason, it feels a little bit heavier in my left ear than my right ear. So if you want to have that synth be wide, I think that's cool, but I would evenly disperse it. So just check the meter. Sometimes if something naturally like is weighted left, like the synth or whatever, panning it slightly to the right will get you more of a down the middle sound, which a bass line I think should be. It can still have width and thickness, but it should be even. So that's one thing to check. The other thing I want to point out too, good thing, is like I was going off on that other track about the bass note and, you know, not being diatonic and not being the right notes, but this has some like chromatic dark stuff, like just straight up out of key stuff in it. Just like straight up dissonant effects there happening in the atmosphere, but they're part of the atmosphere and they're anchored by a strong bass line and a strong chord progression. So you recognize with your ear how everything is supposed to sound, and you know that everything on top is just kind of like this dark dressing. So that's what makes it okay. The progression through this track is cool because we get those different like synth lines, and we get that solo added towards the end, which is a nice touch. It's almost in the vein of something like a Flying Lotus or something. So I think with that in mind, maybe that's an influence, but this track can for sure be longer. To make it longer, to extend it, I think you should drop on a dime and flip to a B section that maybe uses some of the same instrumentation, but switches up the feel or something. Like maybe you go into a double time feel for like a B section and then bring us back to this. But if you want to make this like a full 2-minute 30, 3-minute track, give it like a solid B section that flips the script. Either it changes tempo or it changes feels. Find a way to transition from one to the other and then like give us that. I think that would aesthetically make sense for this type of track. But this is a really cool track, folks. Please go give a follow to Piccolo Black on SoundCloud if you can. Go give a follow, see what some of the other tracks are. If this is a work in progress track, would love to hear what you got going on for all the finished tracks that you got. And I'll say, you're excited for Beattober. I'm excited to see what you come up with for Beattober, because you should definitely have some solid beat making videos going on for Beattober. Get your video game strong, because these are strong beats. You pair them with strong visuals, you get a lot of attention. Black Air Forces, wouldn't want to run into you, my friend. Not in a dark alley, that's for sure. Not with Black Air Forces. Anyway, Piccolo Black, thank you for becoming a member, and thank you for a very strong first submission. A couple more tracks for us to go through today. A few more, as some would say. Let's get this going. Stolen Panic. This is by everybody else is like new members today. Shout out to you all. Dun, 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 dun. Nice little ARP. Oh. Interesting flute. Stolen Panic. interesting. Flute gang. Oh, I like this. Where did the attack go on the flute? Cool. This is your first track. Well, this is a pretty good first track. Soon heed. Is that how I say it? Soon heed. Anyway, it's really interesting, and you're doing the good thing that I always talk about. You're keeping things kind of simple. It doesn't have too many elements. All the musical elements are kind of gelling together pretty well. You would think a busy piano line and a busy flute line like that would clash, but they're working together quite well. And then I do admire that you did a smart thing of this transition and going into that double time. Very cool. These are all things that you're going to want to lean into as part of your strengths. This kind of ear you have for arrangement, that instinct you had to switch things up and make it more interesting was a very good one. I think since this is your first track, feedback I have for you going forward would be figure out what genres and what music, particular tracks, particular artists you really like, and what kind of music you want your music to be sort of played next to. Like what group of other musicians do you want to be included in? Because probably the biggest place you're going to focus on in terms of progressing is now going to be like sound selection, right? So this drum kit sounds like probably a stock drum kit. Sounds like it could be like a stock flute sound maybe. So pay attention to the artists that you like, figure out what sounds they're using, figure out where they're getting their sounds, and be very particular about what sounds you use to get a certain result. Because this track sounds good, I just don't quite hear like a style. I don't hear a genre. Like, what do I call this? Like, where does this belong, you know? And part of growing as an artist, getting your music out there is like having your music belong somewhere. Not to say that it has to be generic and play by all the rules, but simple things like paying attention to sound selection and choosing sounds deliberately so it makes sense next to other kind of music. Everything is stock, and that's cool because you're doing what you can with what you got. Watch some tutorials, watch your favorite producers do tutorials, or figure out what plugins they use, and maybe try to figure out how to do what they do with the stock devices, you know? Because you've got musical ideas, you got good musical ideas, so now you want to figure out how to get the right sound, you know? That's the next step, I think. Wiley says, I'd like to be in Wu-Tang Clan, but yeah, exactly. But soon, thank you so much for that. This is Crash Bandicoot step, says Opal Rider. Nice. Thank you so much. Soon, I'm subscribing. Subscribe. Can't wait to hear what you come up with next. Thank you so much for becoming a member. We'll hear how you progress. Keep working. Like, even though you got those stock sounds, do what you can with those. Figure out how to maximize the use of that. Don't let that bring you down. Don't let that make you feel too limited. Now, it looks like we got a strong one coming up here from our friend White Whisker.
Let's get out of here.
We got a whole video? Go full screen? That can't be good for the record.
Let's leave.
And that's on record. Oh, nice drum set.
You hate it. I hate it.
I like
Whether
that.
you come with me or not.
Where are the voice lines from? Oh, okay.
Please say yes.
This is like a different song, but cool. Is that a human bone? Something's coming. Nice performance effects. We got that delay happening. Assume we're getting another drop here. Bass comes in here. Yep. Oh, nice. All right, super interesting. Thank you for that submission, White Whisker. Nice little intro.
I'm serious.
Okay, so it definitely starts out as one kind of track, right? And then totally morphs into something new. And if I'm being honest, they're both good, and I do enjoy the fact that it totally switches up. However, I think there could have been a better way to link these two sections together. I mean, it's a nice surprise to have them drop on a dime, but like if I put on a chill track like this to study to or something, right? And then all of a sudden it switches into what it switches to, that kind of drum and bass thing. It's probably not gonna, like, it was good here. Like, it's good in this terms of like, we're all here listening to electronic music. Like, that's what we're doing. But like, from a listener's perspective, I think you can foreshadow that something is coming a little bit more. And if that means like bringing some more electronic elements here in the beginning, then like you have the stutters and stuff. I do like the like dryness of the quote because it has good presence as opposed to everything else. It's like very soft and lo-fi. And then that transition comes in, and I love the second half. I think the second half is stronger and more unique than the first half, even though I love lo-fi chill music. So maybe there's just some way you can better foreshadow what's to come earlier in the beginning, you know? Because this is a good sound you have going here. This is like almost like an old school kind of like 2010s-ish kind of like electronic situation. Mixing wise, I think there's a few things to check out mixing wise. Like I think the bass synth is like a bit too loud. You could probably have a sub bass along with it. And then also the piano is just like a little too muddy. It almost sounds like too compressed maybe. But the stuff that you do in terms of performance effects, like delays and stutters, those are all amazing. Very good. I'm torn. Like, I like that it just abruptly transitioned all of a sudden. I just wonder, like, I know I do the thing where it's like, oh, if I click over here in your track, does it sound the same as this? And in this track, it's like, no, they sound completely different. But it's like, how did we get there? Like, can we pave the road a bit better on the way there? Good track though, White Whisker. I'm very excited for that one. That was awesome. Rosefire, thank you so much for becoming a member. Shout out to you. Looks like I have 2 more tracks left here in the Discord, and then Rosefire, since you just became a member, make sure you just jump right in, submit your track. We'll get to it today. Rosefire's track will probably be the last one we got to today. David Carr, I saw you continue to message about your track that's on Twitter, but that's not how I'm receiving tracks. As usual, if you want to submit music, become a member. At any tier, join the Discord, submit via Discord. And I'm not a big fan of the notion that you think you can Venmo me to kind of skip the line. That's like not what's happening here. You can become a member and get in line, but I don't think we take bribes here on the channel. Right. Super Mario Bros. Type beat. By the way, people, peace and love. If I get claimed for having your track on my stream, I just cut it out of the stream. Peace and love. If Joseph is taking bribes, that's his prerogative. How do you become a member? It's a secret. Nice. Good use of those one-shots. General the Jam, thank you so much for submitting this. Let's give a sub. Good use of effects, my friend. This is a banging beat. General Jam has a lot more beats on their channel, it seems like, judging by the links in the description. And you're kind of fire at this, my friend. We have another Superman. I don't know if Superman's in the chat currently, but similar thing that I say to Superman all the time is like get a rapper on this or something like that. Like, what kind of rapper would not want to get on a dope like video game-esque beat like this? Like, this is, I think you did a good job of like, what I was worried about is that it would be like Super Mario theme but turned into like a trap remix. It's not that. It's like a video gamey and it's cool. It has a couple little Mario references in it. And it executes on it pretty well. Get a rapper on this and get it out there. That's basically the only feedback I have. What am I going to say? I like that ARP. Good job, my friend. Good job. I don't understand, David. You seem super confused. If you want to pay to get your music submitted, hit the join button and become a member. Anyway, I have T. Henricus with my last submission here in Discord. Rose, I know you joined, but if you are going to submit today, fantastic. I would love to hear your music. If not, just let us know, because I don't want to cut it off if you are submitting. But if you're not submitting, I just need to know so I'm not left to wonder. But nevertheless, oh my God, another one, WIP. I wish I never learned what that means because it freaking triggers me. But T, let's hear your track. Oh, this is a different vibe. No worries, Rosefire. We'll see you over in the Discord when you do join. No whip gang. That's a nice cello melody. Some wet ass reverb. Oh, XXX Baby says Braveheart 2 trailer. Yes, Braveheart vibes. T, thank you for the submission. It was unexpected. I did not think we would get like a cool orchestral track today. Yeah, very cinematic and peaceful. I think your sense of harmony and progression is very good. I think this track had a nice progression and arrangement, the way it just sort of built up over time. I think there's a couple things you can do to make it sound a bit more advanced. First of all, I think the strongest sound you use is that cello. Where the heck is it? Because it sounds natural. It sounds very good. And if I could make one suggestion, sometimes the big grandiose string sections can sound artificial when not sort of like carefully mixed or carefully, there's certain effects that you can do on there to make it sound like a little more natural, like making it a little brighter, carving out some frequencies. So why not take some of those awesome sounding solo instrument VSTs that you have and build the section part by part instead of playing the chords full out on a string section? And even experiment with keeping the string section playing those chords, but then also have individual instruments, from the bottom up, double bass, cello, viola, violin, split the chord notes across those different instruments appropriately by range, and layer that in with the string section, and that will actually make it sound more real, I think. Especially if you do stereo panning and use the stereo field to make it sound like how an actual chamber music or a string section would be set up. And then just take it one step further in terms of your arrangement. Like, I'm sure in orchestral music, cinematic music that you hear like this, there are certain little incidental things beyond. Right now, you basically just have your chords and your melody. And then you have like a counter melody here and there. But beyond that, there are things that happen incidentally, like little moments, little flourishes, little counter melodies that happen one time, things like that. That's the next level of this track for sure. But nonetheless, thank you so much, T, for this nice orchestral track. Who could have expected that? Keep making music like this. I love music like this. I don't know if you listen to Olafur Arnalds, but I highly recommend you check out Olafur Arnalds if you do not. He's got like an album called like Living Room Songs, which is just like it's like 4-piece or something like that. It's like a couple string instruments, piano, occasionally an electronic element, and it's very emotional sounding music. David, welcome. We've been waiting all stream for this. Now, hold your horses, my friends. Because we have the man, the myth, the legend himself, David Carr. We've been waiting all day for this to happen. Finally, David got with the program, became a member. So without further ado, before we play this track, I'm going to give one more rant about the work in progress thing. When you write work in progress in your track title, all you're telling me is that you are going to perpetually work on this track until you think it's perfect. And it's never going to be perfect. It's always a work in progress. That's why I push so many of you to release your music on a major streaming platform and like just finish it. It's done. It's out. It's done. When you just keep releasing, like SoundCloud is free. So like the barrier to upload and entry is just like, I'm just going to keep saying work in progress and keep uploading, keep uploading, keep uploading. It's like, stop. You're just lying to yourself and you're saying that's going to be a perpetual work in progress. You want to say it's a work in progress? Great. Give yourself a date where after this date, it is no longer a work in progress. It is done and I'm moving on. No more, like just stop putting WIP in your title. You want to tell me in chat, like, oh, I'm still working on it, but I'm interested to hear the feedback. Fantastic. Don't put WIP in the title. I'm over it. I put R1 next to my tracks. If R1 is done, great. If I got to go to R2, R3, R4, R5, aka round 1, round 2, round 3, then I'll do that. But I'm not saying it's like work in progress. Obviously, it's always a work in progress until I call it done. But the whole point is to have an end goal and be done. And the last thing I'll say is, join the stream October 1st and you can win this MPK Mini. Custom, only 2 made, hand-painted design, don't forget. Without further ado, I know I said that already, we got the man, the myth, the legend, David Carr. Press play. I could be wrong. Got the shorty feeling right. I would say language warning if you have children listening or if you don't want your parents to hear it. That you get some proper treatment when you need soothing. But I got a full team, so I ain't recruiting. Drop it, summertime boption. Girl looking at me on David, is this 100% you? Panties on the floor every time they see me pop. Then I tend to go ghost after that. Then I drop them. It's easy. Drip, need a squeegee. Hit me late at night, shorty wanna come see me. Bitch, please, yeah. I'ma ride the beat until I hit my last breath. Till I rack these bands in the crib, look fat. Got a few sleeve tricks, got a brand new bitch. Got all the girls bumping that hot boy shit. Downtown, and you know I got the baddies on deck. All the while y'all saying, God damn, the voice slick. There's no debating it. Coming and I make it hit. About to run it up and then it's stuck and then I'm breaking it. I sweep the competition, gold medals and gold chains, that's my only mission. I like the bass line. On top of podiums, watch out for sodium. Too much of a good thing becomes a bad thing, ain't no holding them. Somebody needs to pass me the torch. When I'm on the mic, it's straight flames, you know I just scorch. You know I'm killing them, hitting them with the venom and running up the adrenaline. Slow it down, need some Ritalin. I'm riding round town, but there's no equestrian. Kicking it down, good flow. Let's go and tell a friend. Kicking it like Rock Lee when he took off the waist. Don't wanna fight me when I be opening gates. Shout out to Spike Lee, know that he one of the greats. Plotting against me, can't really mess with the face. I'm with Nightly, already napping the race. You want the beef and I go ahead and clean up the plate. You up against me, already knowing your fate. You cut your right knee straight to the front of the face. Like a concussion, you know that we bustin'. I'm coming through like 1, 2. Yeah, you know it ain't nothing. Yeah, you know it ain't nothing. Are you the rapper, David, is my question.
Raise it up, drop it down, roll the blunt, blow it down, shotty bounce in hell, tell me what you feel, yeah, just you up, just to strip you down, don't you feel the pressure, hate you pressure, don't get jealous, I'm on another level. Raise it up, drop it down, roll the blunt,
Hey, shawty had a
big fat waist, baby, throw it in my face. Thought he bout to suck me up, then I'm take it to the race. Got a 30-shot chop, we gorillas in outer space. Lottie dottie, muck it up and take them rackets to the place. Seattle is my city, and we really get it in. We got rappers getting litty, and got swipers on your friends. If you in the wrong spot, little buddy.
What's up, Ross? Thank you for the kind words.
And I'll say that shit again. 2 straight puzzles and 3,200 brothers, but I ain't never gang bang, and that's word to my mother. I'ma always represent while I'm stepping on others, and I'ma never stop ground until I'm flexing all above them. Left, right, hit you from the side.
Oh, that's a
floating butterfly. You can mock my music, Brody. I can
big
fuck your
whiplash.
wife. Stop all of that goofing, 'cause it really is my
That's
life.
Nicki Minaj flow.
hey, shawty had a
Drop it down, raise it up. Drop it down, raise it up.
Good vocal effects.
Raise it up, hey, drop it down, yeah, raise it up, drop it down, yeah.
At the party, see you staring. Yeah, I'm choosing you, shawty on the dance floor.
David Carr, at what timestamp will I hear your voice?
I already knew when she chatted me up, complimented my shoe. She a teaser, she a keeper. She met me, turned her to a pleaser. In a fever, yeah, I need her. She shaking those hips, feel like Weezer.
Drop it down, hit the ground, let me see it though. Do you sell, do you trap, can I buy some dough? Get a jacket, get a chain, 'cause it getting cold. 'Cause you know that we be on the west coast. In the car with the bands and we cruising dope. Yeah. I just met your bitch, yeah, I found out she a hoe. She left a heart emoji on my IG post.
The vocal production took a dive there.
Yeah. Can I get a raise? Yeah, can I get a toast? Nah. They think that I'm
I don't know what part the hook is.
yeah. I remember school classmates selling O's. But I was selling fire shit, like narcos. Yeah. Yeah, you know how we do it, bitch, we kill it though.
Cool. Funny ending. All right, bassline very catchy. The drums sound good. Overall, the stuff that you did with the what the heck am I trying to say? The like variation in the effects that you do, which is the thing that I harp on a lot of tracks. Like there's no level of interest in many tracks, but in this, you do a good job because you do all these different vocal effects that happen, all these different like tinkering with the sections, making them slightly different. I mean, stuff like that, dropping the beat out. Cool. I think that that's cool. And then we have stuff like this, which just the bass line. I will do that, Rosefire, yes. And then the drums come in. And then there's sections where it's like bass line drops, just drums. And then you have awesome like rhymes and lyrics on top of it. But like production wise, like that's a smart thing. Bass, drums. Like just doing little things like that. Like you can hear here, like it's not a bunch of different musical ideas. It's just the same musical ideas, just like connected and put together in different ways. Sometimes that's all you need to do. Yeah, like just like various quality of like vocal production. Like it kind of takes a dive after that first minute. I would just cut that first. You're the fourth verse. Timestamp, my friend. How am I supposed to know what the fourth verse is? I'm supposed to count? Is it this one? Anyway, I think it's cool that you have a bunch of different rappers on it, by the way. I think you guys should like you could do a lot more with this space, like here representing yourself visually, because the track could be a bop, but it's like this doesn't visually represent like what the track is all about. So I would definitely nail the visual branding if you all are a group, frequent collaborators, or it's just a one-off thing, whatever. But I think it's pretty cool. I'll say it's one thing to say I don't know. It's just like a lyric critique, but like I'm not super down for. It's one thing to say "bitch, please." It's another thing to just straight up call a woman the B word. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a huge fan. Not to say I don't listen to music that does that, but peace and love. But good rap tune. Keep it going. More tracks like this, you'd be good. Like, I think it keeps it simple. I think you could probably have a little more like at the end. Like, how could you make it like one thing, like in all seriousness, they're saying like, oh, it's the hook. Like, I don't know what the hook is. Like, there's almost like not enough separation, even though I like the fact that it's minimal. Like, there needs to be like something that signifies like this is the hook, whether that's instrumental or whether that's in the vocal engineering, whatever it is. It just seems like a bunch of verses strung together. Peace and love.
Yeah, shawty had it. Drop it down.
Raise it up.
Drop it down.
Gold medals and gold chains, that's my only mission. Fact, got a few brand new bitch, got all the girls bumping that hot
I think if you say brand new bitch, that's the same thing.
hot boy shit downtown and ghost after that. Looking at me on some summertime thought shit. Dropping panties on the floor every time they see me popping.
Like if you refer to somebody as like
then I drop 'em, it's easy. Drip
my bitch.
late at night, shorty wanna come see me. Bitch, please, yeah. I'ma ride the beat until I hit my last breath.
And then somebody else says, I just did something with your bitch or something like that. You know, that's what I'm talking about. All right, peace and love. Good way to round out the day. Yeah, that was the last one. Okay, good way to close out. I'm glad we had some lyrics today. Thank you, David Carr. Yeah, I know it wasn't you. I'm not on a crusade to like shun all rappers that like do certain things, because I know there's certain stuff that's like culturally just how it is, and I'm just putting it out there saying like maybe peace and love one day we won't do that, you know. Wiley says, yo TAETRO, what are you up to next Friday? Want to hang out? No, thank you. Peace and love. Damn, I'm late. Haha, thanks, dude. Yeah, we got you, Alja. Just rewind, you'll be able to see it. Anyway, folks, what does this button do? Oh, background music. Nice. All right, we got Beattober coming up starting October 1st. If you want to participate and make a daily beat video, post it on Instagram, hashtag Beattober. We will be rallying around for a good cause. Post on Instagram. I will be reviewing tracks that are posted with that hashtag every single Saturday. So even if you're not a member, you can get your music reviewed. You can get a shout on stream. So some of you who didn't get a chance to submit, you can go ahead and get on it. Though I'm sure the people that come to the streams and say, how do I submit? How do I submit? I don't want to become a member. I don't want to become a member. Will not take advantage of this opportunity, because they will fight against any opportunity handed to them. They will say, I only post on LinkedIn. Is that okay? And I will say, peace and love. Go for it. I'll just never see it. Anyway, tune in on October 1st, because we'll be doing a live stream where you can win this custom Akai MPK mini. Custom, I painted this. This is my painting. Turned it into a skin. Not only that, you can go to controlfreakclub.com and purchase the phone case or the accessory pouch. It says make beats every day. Keep your cables and such in it. You might even want to order the fanny pack. Maybe you say, heck with that. That's not my color scheme. I don't like it. Guess what? There's lots of other merch you can order at controlfreakclub.com right now, including this awesome t-shirt. Creepy Cafe says Beattober 2021 on it. Awesome stickers if you want to deck out your gear, make it look all cool. We got these Control Freaks here. And I'm also wearing the Creeper crew neck, which is the piece of merch that's pinned to the top. But if you click on that, it'll bring you to the rest of the store. 50% of the proceeds of all this merch, which is limited, which will go away, will never be available again. 50% of the proceeds will be going to the Music and Youth Initiative, a nonprofit we'll be supporting all throughout the month of October. So, if you want to become a member, you're going to be supporting the nonprofit. If you want to pick up some merch, you're supporting. You pick up the sample pack that drops on October 1st, you're supporting. You all ship to Canada? You bet we ship to Canada. You bet. Keep your cables in the pouch. Exactly, cable man. That's what I got going on. I'm trying to use my freaking iPad like it's an iPad, but it's a monitor right now, so I can't do that. Thank you to everybody who tuned in today. I hope you go show some love on the other producer pages. As usual, make sure you have notifications turned on because we have lots of awesome stuff happening next week, including new beat video, including sponsored stream coming up on Thursday of next week with a really awesome new plugin. I'll have a video for you on Wednesday with another new plugin that hasn't dropped. I don't know. I've been blessed lately with people hitting me up saying, we want to sponsor video, try out our new plugin. And I'm like, so you want to give me free stuff to make music with and pay me to make a video about it. And then I get to keep the stuff. And I'm just like, it's a win-win. So stay tuned for that. All good things coming next week. And of course, the start of Beattober on Friday, where we will be doing a special Friday live stream next week. Book your Friday, call out of work. It's the first day of Beattober. What the heck are you going to work for anyway? We're all hanging out next Friday. See you all there. That's what Joseph says. Exactly. And giving away the MPK Mini. Don't forget. See you all on Friday. Well, I'll see you all on Tuesday. And then I'll see you all on Thursday. And then I'll see you all on Friday. It's a freaking busy week next week. I don't know if I've properly planned for all of it. Ed Oyama is here right at the end. Perfect. Can't wait till you make a music theory video on rhythm. I'm not great at executing that from the idea in my brain. Good to hear, Star Stuff. Good to hear. All right, go watch another video on the channel if you can. Rewind the stream back in the beginning if you want to watch from the beginning. And leave a like on your way out, please. Well, that's going to be it, my friends. Thank you all so much for watching. This has been TAETRO. Have a good one. TAETRO.com/Beattober. 1T. BEATOBER. Beattober. TAETRO.com/Beattober. Okay, bye. Rosefire, sorry, I forgot. I would say this. We're not done yet. Okay, members. If you became a member today, all you have to do... Actually, does this work? Exclamation point new. New member. New member. Okay, Nightbot just typed in the chat. You click that support link. It's going to give you a little tutorial on how you can integrate YouTube. You basically go into Discord, go to integrations, and it gives you all the directions there. You're basically linking your YouTube account to your Discord account. But Rose, you got it. If anybody else is confused, I'm leaving chat rolling for a while and they can help you. But click that support link from Nightbot. Thank you all so much for watching. This has been TAETRO. Have a good one. TAETRO.com/Beattober.